Ready, steady, go. Hi everyone, welcome you all for this one day, one runner habit series of this 30-part series of this for the whole month of April, where every single day I will be reaching out to you all and sharing one runner habit on a daily basis. And at the same time, I'll be explaining that habit from a runner perspective and share with you all the tactics and techniques how the same habit can be applied in business and in life. This is Karthik Viswanathan, and today is day number 7, meaning it's habit number 7. So I present to you all the habit of staying closer to the problem. Right, staying closer to the problem. What do you mean by this one? What are the perspectives that I just want to give from a runner mindset? Is just purely each and every runner, like whether it is a full fast runner or a slow runner or a half marathoner or a full marathoner or a walker or a jogger, each one of them will be having their own mindset set towards resolving the problems. And how each one of these individuals are resolving the problems, first thing first, they would be staying very, very close to the problems. They will not be shying away from the problem, right? Most of the runners will be staying closer to the problem. So let me give a perspective of you. Let me give an example. So I can't really think of a much better example or a scenario than an injury, right? So in the episodes of runners, in the life of runners, like there will be some ups and downs, and one such down period which we call it as like an injury period. So it can be like in shape of any form of injury, maybe a calf injury, an ankle injury, or a hip injury, or even in some cases minor fractures here and there, or in terms of weight reduction. So it just purely coming from in different styles, but altogether we call that as an injury as such. So the first thing and foremost for the runner would be really staying closer to the problem by having a close look to the problem. Whatever the injury might be, we will be first assessing that injury, acknowledging the injury, and starting to get some professional advice towards that, professional treatments, and going along with the flow of the advice on the rehabilitation, whatever the techniques, whatever the framework that they are giving to us, and whatever the exercises that we need to follow, we follow that on a day in, day out basis. So in that way, like we are not only just purely building up again from the scratch, or the point like where how much amount of time like we have lost in our training, or just for that matter like how much joy we have lost, we would be just going back and then taking one step at a time and also recover in a fair fashion. So, and at the same time, once we get back into our recovery runs or recovery jogs or trainings or run, we will be again staying closer with the same injury, whether the body is, the physical body is giving some symptoms, or if we are we having some pains relevant to that injury or not. And again, after a while, when we hit the our full throttle, with the full pace, with the full volume training, with the full high intensity interval training, again, we will be staying closer with the problem, okay, whether that particular injury would be coming back in our life or not. So it's all happening in a multiple dimensions, but we would be staying closer to the problem, and we will be acting on the problem with the solution mindset, one step at a time. Even though we really wanted to push ourselves to come back to the way that what we were, but we will be still going slow, or we will be still working or recovering smartly, and then we would be just going one step at a time. So in short, yes, we as a runner, we would be staying closer to the problems, but with a solution mindset, because with the positivity and then with the positive vision of yes, we will be getting back on the track, we would be just going and doing what we love most, that is like putting one step in front of another step, and then we would be with that mindset, we should be able to just go back to the track with more stronger mindset, both in physical set as well and also in mindset, and then we will be just going back on track with more and more mental stamina as well. So that's how like we would be staying closer to the problem. Yep. So when we take this particular habit of staying closer to the problem with the solution mindset, and when we apply into the entrepreneurial journey, into your business, how as a solopreneur or a small, medium business owner, or any businesses of any sizes. So first and foremost thing, how you can cultivate this particular habit into your own lifestyle. You might have heard about it, you might have read about it, you might have been coached about it, but in practice, if you really want to implement that one into your own journey, first and foremost thing, please don't shy away or fear away from that problem. Acknowledge the problem, address the problem. Say, yes, there is a problem. It can be any problem in your thing, maybe relevant to your sales, or relevant to your operations, or relevant to your research, or relevant to your marketing, or relevant to your customer service, or in relevance to getting some funding, any of that sort, or relevant to building your team or expanding the team, or any of the legal issues. It can be anything, but please don't fear away from it. Acknowledge it, because the moment you start acknowledging the problem, irrespective of the size of it, magnitude of it, then it is much easier for you to focus your energy and time and focus onto that, right? And please ask, and the step number 2 would be like, ask critical questions to understand the root cause of the problem. Say how, like, if a runner gets a kind of a fatigue or a kind of an injury in their cuff muscles or thing, we would be trying to understand why the pain comes in. We would not be just like that saying that there is a pain. We would be trying to understand where it is coming from and why it is coming from. What are the preventive measures I need to apply in order for me to just overcome that particular problem? So please ask those critical questions. Brainstorm within yourself, brainstorm with your team members, brainstorm with the relevant people in your organization, and try to understand the root cause of the problem. And start applying. The step number 3 is to start applying these corrective measures. Right? So I can take this particular 3-step model, and then I can just put it as an example. Maybe from an artist perspective, say maybe like the problem might be, I'm just articulating this one for you. An example, an artist would be saying, yes, I'm publishing all my art, all my artwork, and all my painting, all my digital art on online, and everybody likes it in the social media. Everybody gives me appreciation towards that, comment on it. But at the end of the day, I don't really have a sale. I don't really have a transaction. I don't really have that kind of a paying customer base so that I can really go and share my passion towards art in a long-term sustainable way. Yeah. So if that's a problem, then please acknowledge, yes, that's a problem. And then start identifying what is the root cause of it. Maybe you're not, maybe a thing is like, yes, your information, your art is reaching to people, but it may not be reaching to the right paying customers. So maybe you need to narrow down your customer avatars, ideal customer avatars. Or maybe like you need to stand in front of the traffic of your potential customers. Yeah. So maybe those kind of things. So when you start streamlining all these things, then it will be much more easier for you to just get that first sale, get that paying customer base, and then from there you can easily develop your leverage that particular sale into multiple transactions, and you can start flourishing in your business. So stay closer to the problems with a solution mindset. Right. So when we start applying from in this way, you can definitely find the joy of the business, that what you're doing, rather than being just doing the business as a chore, as an obligation, but you can really find the joy. You can really find the joy of, say for that example, for artists, you can really find the joy of sharing your artistic passion with people, bringing some beautiful emotions in their mindset whenever they see your art. Right. So when if we start applying, if we want to apply the same habit of staying closer to the problem into our personal life, be it health, wealth, or relationship, again, the first and foremost might be, yes, acknowledge the problem, that is a problem, right? And in doing so, please don't feel guilty. Don't emotionally kill yourself. Do this one with unjudgmental curiosity. Maybe as an example, fear of public speaking. It might be like one of the things that you want to overcome in your own personal life. So the moment I say public speaking, what I'm referring to the personal context is trying to explain about yourself into your own career, into your own organization, into your team of people, or maybe like you want to persuade a group of people in the community project, or even if you want to have a quality conversation with your spouse or with your beloved friends. Yeah, so that kind of a communication, if you're having that kind of a problem, then then you need to understand, yes, there is a problem. And then you can start applying some preventive measures. So maybe you can just start listening more so that like you can understand the person better and you can respond to that person's conversation. In that way, you can build a rapport. Or maybe you can start off with some starting phrases, or you can start off with some icebreakers. You can practice those icebreakers in any of the communal settings, where if you're going for a party or something, you can just break out the particular moment of silence with your icebreakers and build that rapport. So that's as an example. So please target some low-hanging fruit which can be really achieved by you in a very quick manner. Start implementing those. So stay closer to the problem. Don't say that, oh, I'm afraid of public speaking, so I never ever communicate with an external person. I would never ever make any new friends in a party. I would never ever present myself or my findings or my improvements or my initiatives to a bunch of people. So don't shy away from that thing, because that will definitely tamper your potential. That will definitely act as a hindrance for your own impact creation to this whole wild world. So rather stay closer to the problem and acknowledge that one and identify the ways, break it down, the problem into smaller chunks, and start implementing the low-hanging fruit method, right? So don't lose the sight of the problem. Rather stay very closer to the problem, very closer to the problem, and let's solve like one piece at a time, right? This is Karthik Viswanathan, and please do me a favor. Whenever going forward, whenever you see a jogger, a walker, or a runner, just wave at them or give a thumbs up or nod your head with a smile. So in that way, like, you will be lifting their mindset and mood, and then that will be the act of you doing that will definitely automatically will be lifting yourself up. So that mindset, that positivity, that mindful appreciation will go for a long way. All right. So this is Karthik Viswanathan, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.